Hi, it's Johnny C. McGinley from STAN AGAIST EVIL.
It's Janet Varney from STAN AGAIST EVIL.
Hi, I'm Dana Gould.
You're watching Movers and Shakers.
Movers and Shakers.
Movers and Shakers
Unlimited.
What's up, guys? I'm here at 2018 New York Comic Con. John, it's a pleasure.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. So can you tell me, here we are, day one of Comic Con. Can you tell me how it's been?
It's been great. Look, Comic Con's fantastic. And the first con you come to, which for us was about 3 years ago, you can be a little judgmental with the cosplay and with the fanaticism level. But then I grew up in New York City going to games out in the Meadowlands and up at Yankee Stadium. And so you have to reflect back on Jets fans paint their faces green.
Passion is passion.
So passion is passion. So to come to these and you see some guy dressed as Darth Vader and another guy as a slasher guy, you're like, it's great. Look, the fact of the matter is, whether you're in San Diego or here, people cull out a lot of time, energy, and money to come to these things.
Yeah.
And when we'll do this Q&A an hour or so from now, when the people who are there ask questions, they'll be surgically specific questions because they will have consumed STAN AGAIST EVIL probably a dozen times.
Yeah.
They know every beat of every show. That's about as flattering as it could possibly be. I mean, that's fantastic.
Be that invested, yeah, absolutely. So
it beats the opposite, where it's just where ambivalence rules.
Well, be that as it may, season 2 left you and Evie in an interesting predicament. So can you talk a bit about that now, going into how that's carrying over into season 3?
Sure. The finale of season 2, the portal to hell was left open. And so now the earth is inhabited by witches and demons and hell. And so what Dana Gould, the executive producer of the show, did, which was really interesting and took a lot of spine, was that instead of making me bump my head and just wake up from an amnesia dream and none of it happened, he didn't. He owned it, and he put the two protagonists in this hell, and it's called Hell Is What You Make It. And what that alludes to is the fact that if the two protagonists can chart their way through this landscape of hell by owning their personal stuff, if they can chart through that, then they can get back to normal life, which is pretty esoteric for a half-hour comedy horror show, but it came out amazing.
All right, awesome. Now, obviously, you're not able to spoil like what happens later on
because
this season.
You're not going to believe it. Even if
Clearly.
I told you wouldn't believe it.
Right, exactly, which actually brings me to my point. Now that you're in season 3, is there anything, with all the craziness that has happened thus far in the first 2 seasons, is there anything now that surprises you where it still catches you off guard of some of the zaniness that's happening?
I'm looking forward to doing the musical episode, which has to be coming down the road sooner or later. Right. We're going to get a script with some clef notes in it and some lyrics, and then there'll be a whole libretto, and you'd be like, yeah, we're doing a musical. I don't know that for a fact, but I can smell it. I can smell it. STAN AGAIST EVIL, the musical.
All right. Well, John, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Day 1 of New York Comic Con. How has New York been treating you?
I love it. I love this con. I think it might be my favorite con. No offense to all the other cons. I love doing the small ones. The big ones are amazing. This particular one is it's manageable. It's in a sweet city. The energy is fantastic. The cosplay at New York Comic Con is superb. It's just a great feel. It's a really good vibe, this con. So it's definitely one of my faves. It's good to be here.
Awesome. Now, I was talking to John just a moment ago and commenting on how season 2, the end of season 2, left you guys in an interesting place, Stan and Evie. Mm-hmm. So can you talk a bit about that with season 3 now? Now that 2 seasons are already done, what you're excited about in terms of your relationship that's gonna come to the forefront for this season?
Well, I wish I could say that everything resolves itself with Stan and Evie, but unfortunately Stan is still he just gets real into his own head.
Okay.
And he gets real into his own fears and experiences. And, here he's gone through this horrible thing in season 2 where he's made this decision that he's hoping is going to save his wife and bring her back. That doesn't happen. I think the hope would be, right, from Evie, for example, okay, well, he learned that he can't keep secrets. He learned that we need each other.
Right.
He learned that we, have to move forward rather than moving backward. And I think Stan takes about 50% of that and walks it into a terrible direction instead of like, okay, we got that, lesson learned, let's move on.
Right.
He still feels responsible, and he still feels like he has to figure out a way to be better and to make things better. And unfortunately for Stan, that just doesn't usually end up working out the way he wants it to.
Gotcha.
And season 3 is no exception. But God, do we have a lot of fun along the way.
Awesome.
Some crazy stuff happens.
Awesome. And lastly, with this season, there's a ton of zany things that have happened thus far.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that surprises you even now after everything that's happened so far in the show?
I'll tell you what surprised me the most this season was walking out of a trailer in Georgia and seeing my good friend Maria Bamford looking more terrifying than just about any other creature I've ever seen in my life. I could not look at her. I've been able to look real up close at every other demon we've had, seeing her face, and you've seen it in the preview with her giant fangs. It haunts my dreams. It was bad. So that was very surprising, and it's always surprising. It never stops. I've seen that trailer a million times. Every time I'm like, I gotta go. That's not Maria. That's not Maria. That's not Maria. Yeah.
Well, Janet, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. Dana, how's it going?
Good to see you, man. How are you?
Good to see you. So here we are, New York Comic Con.
Yep.
We're on the first day of this con. Tell me, how has it been?
So far, so good. A lot of great cosplay, a lot of bad food. It's everything a convention should be.
Well, with that being said, congratulations on here we are in season 3.
Yep.
Thinking back of when in creating the show, what is it like for you now to have the show going into its third season, and from when you started?
I'm no one's more surprised than I am, and I'm super grateful. And every season, I thought the second season was better than the first season.
Mm-hmm.
I think the third season is better than the second season. We paint ourselves into a corner. We force ourselves to be creative in how we get out of the corner.
Sure.
The minute we get comfortable with a plot device or a way to tell a story, I tend to destroy it. I like to keep challenging myself and the other writers, and we have really talented actors. This year we were able to we do an X-Files parody, we have a Godzilla parody, we have a kaiju fight, we have evil Muppets, we have a Japanese haunted hospital horror movie parody,
Right.
and we're able to take all of these genres that we want to make fun of and then thread them into the mythology of the show, and that's the beautiful aspect of it. Yeah.
Awesome. And what you're saying was actually a great transition. In the first 2 seasons, so much zaniness has happened, but based on what we have seen in the trailer, it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
would you say that
absolutely.
it's easier or harder to throw those curveballs for your cast and for your writers?
Well, it's easier for me in the sense that it's more fun to write. Like, it's very engaging to write, and it's fun to challenge yourself. It's harder on the actors because they're really being put through their paces. Like, every week it's a different genre, but they're having to work the same characters into it. You have to still be the same Stan that is upset that his wife is dead, who's also fighting a evil puppet while blind. By the way, he's blinded for the puppet episode. Just thought I'd make it more interesting. And then so that's really fun. But when it works, like especially the Godzilla episode and the evil puppet episode, like when they work, it's no better feeling. It just when everything makes sense and everything tracks, and you have this ridiculous idea, and it plays, and everything is earned. It's great. We blew up a car. It was great.
Well, Dana, thank you so
Really
much for your
great to see
time.
you
I
again.
really do appreciate it.
My
There you
pleasure.
guys have it, 2018 New York Comic Con. I'll see you soon.